Title: Taste of Yesterday. Episode 105, The Flame Rekindled. Follow and subscribe 5-episode thriller for more episodes. The kitchen of the Flame buzzed with a rhythm only chaos could perfect. Stainless steel surfaces reflected the harsh overhead lights, and the air hummed with the sizzle of searing meat, the bubble of simmering sauces, and the sharp scent of fresh herbs. Ambrose Casablanca stood at the heart of it, a towering figure in his pristine chef's coat. His dark eyes narrowed as he sampled a spoonful of velouté. "More acidity," he snapped, thrusting the spoon back at his sous chef, a wiry man who flinched under the command. "A touch of lemon zest. Do it right this time." "Yes, chef," the sous chef replied, already moving to obey. Ambrose shifted to the next station, his movements precise, his presence undeniable. He was a perfectionist, a culinary maestro who'd turned the Flame into a beacon of fine dining in their small hometown. Plates gleamed under his scrutiny, each dish a testament to his relentless passion. This was his kingdom, and he ruled it with an iron will. As he adjusted the seasoning on a creamy risotto, a flicker of memory brushed his mind. Unwanted, uninvited. Robin Het. It had been years since he'd let her name linger in his thoughts. He crushed the recollection like an overripe tomato, refocusing on the task at hand. Distractions had no place here. Across town, Robin Het clutched the steering wheel of her beat-up sedan, her knuckles pale against the worn leather. The familiar streets of her hometown unfolded before her, the faded marquee of the old movie theater, the rusted swings in the park, the diner where she'd once slung milkshakes. Each sight tugged at her heart, a bittersweet reel of nostalgia and regret. She hadn't meant to come back. Not after she'd left for college, chasing a marketing career that had since crumbled into layoffs and dead ends. But her father's death, a sudden heart attack, had dragged her home to nurse her mother's grief and confront her own. The car rattled as she turned onto her mother's street, the modest house looming ahead, its porch light flickering like a weary sentinel. Robin parked and exhaled, steeling herself. Before she could reach the door, it swung open, and her mother rushed out, arms enveloping her in a desperate hug. "Robin, sweetheart, you're here," her mother whispered, voice thick with emotion. "I'm here, Mom," Robin murmured, holding her tight, feeling the fragility beneath her mother's brave facade. Inside, they settled on the worn couch, the silence heavy with their shared loss. Her mother's eyes were red-rimmed, her hands twisting a tissue into knots. They talked, or tried to, until the truth spilled out. The medical bills had gutted their savings, and the house was at risk. "I can't lose this place, too," her mother said, tears spilling over. "It's all I have left of him." Robin's chest tightened. She had no job, no plan, but she couldn't let her mother drown in this alone. "I'll figure something out, Mom. I promise." An idea sparked, reckless and daunting. Ambrose Casablancas. His restaurant, The Flame, was the town's pride, a culinary gem that drew foodies from miles away. He'd always been a jerk, arrogant, unattainable, but he might need staff. And she needed work. Their history be damned. "Ambrose?" her mother asked, catching the shift in her expression. "Are you sure? After everything?" "It's in the past," Robin said, forcing a smile. "He's my best shot." That evening, Robin stood outside The Flame, smoothing her skirt and tugging at her blouse. The restaurant's sleek exterior, glass walls, and warm lighting screamed sophistication, a world apart from her faded jeans and empty bank account. Her stomach churned. Ambrose wouldn't make this easy. He never did. She pushed through the doors, the dining room unfolding like a scene from a magazine. White tablecloths, crystal glasses, the murmur of well-heeled patrons. Approaching the hostess, a poised woman with a clipboard, Robin squared her shoulders. "Hi, I'm here to see Ambrose Casablancas." The hostess arched a brow. "Do you have an appointment?" "No, but I'm an old friend." Robin Het. "Could you tell him I'm here?" With a skeptical nod, the hostess vanished into the kitchen. Robin shifted on her feet, her pulse racing. When Ambrose emerged, towel in hand, her breath caught. He was taller than she remembered, broader, his jaw sharper beneath a shadow of stubble. But those eyes, piercing, unyielding, were the same. "Robin," he said, his tone flat, betraying nothing. "What do you want?" She swallowed. "A job. I need work, Ambrose. I was hoping you had an opening." He crossed his arms, studying her like she was a dish he'd already deemed subpar. "This isn't a diner. Do you even know fine dining?" "Not really," she admitted, "but I'm a fast learner, and I'm desperate." He sighed, a sound laced with irritation. "We've got history, Robin. I don't need that messing up my kitchen." "Please," she pressed, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "My mom's in trouble. I have nowhere else to go." For a moment, he said nothing, his gaze locked on hers. Then, reluctantly, he relented. "Fine, hostess. Trial basis. Screw up and you're gone." Relief flooded her. "Thank you. I won't let you down." "Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Don't be late." He turned to leave, but she stopped him. "Ambrose?" He glanced back, impatient. "What?" "It's good to see you." A flicker, something raw, crossed his face before he masked it, disappearing into the kitchen without a word. The next day, Robin arrived early, her nerves buzzing. At the hostess, a no-nonsense woman named Claire walked her through the basics: seating charts, reservations, the art of placating demanding guests. It was overwhelming, a whirlwind of names and rules, but Robin clung to her resolve. Her first shift was a trial by fire. A woman in pearls complained about the table's lighting. A man in a suit sent back his water for being too cold. Robin smiled, apologized, adapted. Her feet ached, her head spun, but she kept going. From the kitchen, Ambrose watched through the pass, his arms crossed. She was a mess, fumbling menus, tripping over her words, but the guests warmed to her anyway. That awkward charm of hers, the one that used to drive him crazy, hadn't faded. Neither had the pull he felt, a heat he'd buried years ago. The night stretched on, relentless, until the last patron left. Robin sagged against the hostess stand, exhausted but proud. She'd survived. Ambrose approached, his expression guarded. "You did. Okay." She grinned, wiping sweat from her brow. "High praise from you. Don't get cocky. Tomorrow's worse." "I'll manage," she said, holding his gaze. The air thickened, charged with old promises and new risks. He broke away first, retreating to the kitchen. Go home. Rest. Outside, under the starlit sky, Robin exhaled. This job, this place, it was a lifeline. And Ambrose? He was a complication she couldn't afford to unravel. Not yet. But as she walked to her car, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was shifting. Something dangerous, something alive. Like a flame catching hold,